Hey, Alice, sweetie, are you there? Oh my goodness, my head feels like a ton of bricks. I'm so disoriented right now. Don't even think I know where I am. Could you do Mom a favor and come over here and get me some water? I'm having a hard time moving. It's like my body is turned into a noodle.
Mom, seriously? You don't remember a thing from yesterday, do you?
What? What happened? I don't know. I'm so clueless right now. All I can recall is us having a party. And I may have got a little overboard with the drinks, that's it.
You're calling it a bit? You were so wasted that you passed out right on the table. It's so embarrassing that the other pageant moms and I had to haul you to the bedroom. It was supposed to be my big day, but nope, you stole the show. I even had to spend the whole night cleaning up after your vomit.
Oh yeah, it's all coming back to me now. We were at the big preteen beauty event, right? We were rocking that cute dress and ended up winning first place. And then all pageant moms went out for a delicious dinner. And it was a blast and we had such an amazing time. Don't you agree?
I had an amazing time at the beauty pageant, and winning felt like a dream come true. But then, you know what happened next? You had to go and ruin it all. You got completely wasted and started acting all wild and out of control. But that didn't stop you from drinking even more. We had to deal with the chaos of carrying you to our room and getting you into bed. Thanks to you, everything turned into a complete disaster.
Oh, come on, don't act so immature. I'm sorry, all right. I was just having a good time and things got out of hand. I was overjoyed when you won. So I had a few extra drinks to celebrate your victory.
Were you truly happy for me? Or was it just an excuse for you to go all out with the drinking? I should have seen this coming. I shouldn't have let you come to the pageant in the first place.
Wait, hold on a sec. What's all this talk about? I'm your mom, and of course I should be there for your big moments. You know how tough it's been for me to be away from you, right? We've only had 3 to 4 years together since I got my freedom back. I remember how much you missed me when I was serving time, didn't you? You sent me all those letters every single day.
Yeah, it's true. It was really hard for me not having my mom around for those 2 years. I was just a 9-year-old kid back then. I'll never forget the day when I came home from school and found Dad and Grandma and Grandpa at our house too. Dad took me to the bedroom, sat me down, and started crying. He told me that you were going to jail. You can't even imagine how much that experience messed me up. Mom, why did you do that? Why did you leave me like that? You know, I used to think you were amazing and perfect, but that was before you went to prison. That whole image of you in my mind got completely shattered because of it.
Oh, honey, I didn't abandon you. Look, I'm right here, aren't I? And let me tell you, I didn't commit crime out of selfishness or anything like that. Remember our awesome trip to the Bahamas? I used my company credit card to cover all the expenses. See, it was all because I wanted our family to have an amazing time together. I wanted us to enjoy ourselves without any worries, you know. It was simply an act of pure love, my dear.
You know what, Mom? That wasn't love at all. Not even close. And even if it was, I don't want that kind of love. You straight up lied to me and Dad, making it seem like it was a legit company trip. But then we found out it was all funded with money you stole from other people. Do you have any idea what I had to endure when you were in prison? I became an easy target for bullies at school. They'd mess with my stuff, lock me in the bathroom, and even spit on me. Do you even realize how traumatizing that is for a kid to go through?
Well, you know, those kids were just little ones. They probably didn't even understand why they were acting that way. Kids can be so clueless sometimes, you know.
Yeah, maybe those kids were just little ones. But what about you, Mom? You're a grown-up, right? Take a moment to really think about it. Have you ever done anything to make it up to me after disappearing from my life for 2 whole years? No, not at all. You made jokes about going to prison, but you never once apologized to me for what happened.
But hey, I'm here right now. Isn't that the most heartfelt apology I could offer? I know I messed up and wasn't there for you for those 2 years, but now I'm here and I promise I'll put more effort and be a real part of your life.
Look, I'm just being real here, Mom. I don't know if I can trust you anymore. And serious talk here, you gotta do something about your drinking. Lately, you've been drinking way too much and it's not good for your health. I'm really concerned about you, Mom.
Oh, I'll be fine, honey. Just tell me where you are at the moment. When do you think you'll be back? I'm feeling quite thirsty at the moment. And if you happen to be out, please remember to get me some whiskey. My day just can't begin without it.
I'm just taking a short walk, Mom. I'll be back in no time. But why are you asking me to get you whiskey? I'm only 12 years old, remember? You know they won't sell alcohol to someone my age. And besides, haven't we talked about the importance of managing your drinking?
Yeah. I know. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, Alice, today has got to be the best day ever. I can't believe how much you've grown. It feels like just yesterday you were my cute little girl. And now you've found yourself a fiancé? That's absolutely crazy. I was absolutely thrilled to meet him yesterday. I hope I left a good impression on him.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. To be honest, I didn't plan on introducing you to Christopher at all. But he really wanted to meet my family, and he kept insisting on meeting you.
What are you saying, Alice? Are you saying you don't want me to meet your fiancé? Why is that? Is it because you're ashamed of me? Are you embarrassed to have a mother like me?
Well, I can't deny it. I mean, just think about it. You're hardly ever sober anymore. And you were drunk last night during dinner with Christopher and his parents, weren't you?
No, I wasn't drunk. You have to think so negatively about your mother all the time. I was just really happy and lively. The life of the party. I'm sure Christopher feels blessed to have such an amazing mother-in-law like me.
You said you weren't drunk, but you were acting exactly like you do when you've had too much to drink. You were saying random things and laughing uncontrollably. You didn't even realize how much time had passed. You just kept talking and laughing without a break.
I acted the way I did because I was happy for you. Can't you see that? I'm your mother, and it brings me immense joy to see my daughter finding her true love.
Well, I don't think so. If you were truly happy for me and meant what you said, then answer me this. Do you even remember half of what you said yesterday?
Hey, that's not a fair question. Of course I don't remember everything. But there are certain things I do recall.
Really? Well then tell me. When do Christopher and I plan to get married?
Oh, you're getting married too? Well, that's fantastic. I'm really excited to be a part of your wedding. Just a little suggestion. Make sure you have some great wine at the event. It'll definitely make the celebration more memorable and enjoyable for everyone, don't you think?
See, you don't even remember the day my fiancé and I agreed to get married, even though we discussed it multiple times during dinner. It's evident to me that you were intoxicated, and you don't care at all about the important events in my life. You know what? I realized a long time ago that I don't mean anything to you. Your entire life revolves around yourself and alcohol. I'm exhausted and fed up with the way you've turned out, you know?
I'm telling you, I was not drunk.
You weren't drunk? How much did you have to drink yesterday?
How much? As usual, bottle of whiskey, 5 shots in the evening. So what's the big deal with that?
That's way too much alcohol. It could make a cow drunk. Mom, you're really putting your life at risk by consuming that much alcohol. And it's not just about what happened yesterday. You were drunk almost every day, and it ruined so many amazing moments in my life. Remember that time at my junior prom? You showed up drunk right in the middle of taking pictures, and we had to get people to carry you to the taxi. And when we tried to help you up the front porch, you ended up falling hard and, well, making quite a mess.
I've apologized for that so many times. Didn't you receive my messages back then?
I did receive your messages where you apologized and all, but what difference did it make? The very next day, you'd rush to the kitchen to drink alcohol and get drunk all over again. You know what? If you continue behaving like this, I don't even want you at my wedding. If you still want to be a part of my life, then you need to get yourself together and sort out your issues.
I understand, I really do. It's easier said than done, right? But don't worry, I'm actively working on turning my life around. I'm confident that you'll be pleasantly surprised once you witness the remarkable transformation I've undergone.
Hey Mom, are you seeing someone?
Oh, why do you ask me that question?
Sorry if I'm prying, but I noticed you walking hand in hand with another man the other day.
Oh, so you've already met my fiancé Nick. I was actually planning on formally introducing you two at a later time, but I guess there's no use in keeping it a secret from you now. Oops.
What? Your fiancé? When did this happen?
Oh, it was about 2-3 months ago. You've always encouraged me to get my act together and transform my life, right? And that's what I thought. Why not begin by building the journey of a new family on my own? It's a fresh start. I believe it's a fantastic idea. What do you think?
I'm not sure, Mom. It sounds quite risky to me. Do you think you can handle married life again, especially considering you still struggle to control your drinking habits? I mean, most of the time you're not even sober enough to think clearly, right?
Well, that's why I need a man who can support me and help me rein the wild side within me.
But let's think about it. Things didn't end well between you and Dad, right? So why do you believe it will be any different this time? Are you sure you're prepared for what lies ahead?
But of course I am. I have a strong intuition that Nick is the perfect match for me. You see, he's completely smitten with me. He's ready to do anything for me whenever I ask.
I see. Does he know that you're an alcoholic?
Well, not yet. But there's no need for him to know about that, right?
Does he know about your imprisonment for embezzling hundreds of thousands of dollars from the travel agency where you used to work?
Honestly, I think it's one of those things that you should keep a secret. You know what I mean. Nick and I have only been hanging out a few months, but if he found out I did time in prison, it'd probably give him the wrong idea about me, don't you think?
Mom, if you're serious about having a real relationship with him, it's important that you're open about these things. You can't keep hiding it from him forever, you know? Plus, the truth has a way of coming out sooner or later.
I know. I'll tell him everything when I have a chance. Is that okay for you?
Fine, it's your life. And ultimately, you call the shots on what you do with it. However, I really hope you make wise choices so you won't end up regretting them down the line. Mom, I can't believe you've done this to me again. When are you going to stop undermining me? I'm so fed up with it.
Wait, what do you mean, sweetheart? I'm totally lost here. Did I do something to upset you again? If that's the case, I really am truly sorry. I definitely didn't mean to. Maybe I just had a slip-up or something.
Just as I expected. Every time I call you out for something you've done wrong, you just say sorry. It's like you're a broken record, Mom.
But honestly, what have I done this time that's so terrible? I've been putting a lot of effort into being a better mom for you, you know? The truth is, I haven't had a sip of alcohol for 3 whole days. That's a major accomplishment for me. And instead of treating me like garbage all the time, you should be grateful for that.
Ugh, are you telling me you have absolutely no recollection of what happened yesterday?
Hey, don't underestimate me, young lady. I've already mentioned it before, and I've been completely sober for 3 whole days, and I remember everything that happened yesterday. You had the wedding that you've always dreamt of with your fiancé Christopher, right? Congrats.
Wait, so you were actually sober when you did it? You do realize that makes the situation a million times worse, right?
What do you mean? Aren't you happy to see that your mom is slowly getting her act together? Oh, you have no idea how ecstatic I was yesterday. I was on cloud 9, and I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. I mean, you saw it all for yourself, didn't you?
Oh, I see. You must have felt very good about yourself after making my wedding all about you, right? What on earth were you thinking when you conveniently decided to announce your own wedding during my special day? And to top it off, you were actually sober when you did it? I'm just left wondering, what am I to you, Mom? Am I your daughter or your enemy? Because honestly, I'm starting to lose track.
Of course, you're my daughter. And you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. No doubt about it. I'm sorry if my announcement bothered you so much. I actually had no idea. I just thought your wedding was a day of pure happiness. And I wanted to bring even more joy to the atmosphere, that's all. I swear I didn't mean any harm by it.
You're unbelievable.
As a daughter, you should actually be happy that I'm putting in a huge effort to turn my life around and become a better person. Guess what? Nick and I are even considering adopting a child. I know we're not exactly in the prime age for having a baby, so adoption seems like the best option, don't you agree?
What? How can you possibly take care of a child when you can't even take care of yourself properly? Look, getting married and adopting a child are major life decisions that need serious thought. Mom, you really need to think long and hard about this.
Oh, come now. I think you're underestimating me. How tough could it possibly be, huh? I'll prove to you that I could do whatever I set my mind to. Hey, Alice. I can't help but feel like you've been avoiding me or something. I've missed you so much during this time. I know you're not on board with my decision to adopt, but you don't have to act so distant and cold toward me. Or maybe you're still upset because I showed up drunk at your son's baby shower. Either way, you shouldn't stay mad at me for this long. I'm still your mother, right? Anyway, I wanted to let you know that I'll be attending our family gathering this weekend, and I'm really excited for it. I can't wait for us, as mother and daughter, to be reunited again.
Beatrice, where do you think you're taking my son? Answer me right now. Give me back Adrian. I've been looking everywhere for him, and someone told me they saw you driving away with him in your car. Why would you do that? Please, I'm begging you, return my son to me. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Please call or text me as soon as you read my messages. I'm really worried about Adrian. Mom, where are you right now? Why haven't you been responding to any of my texts and calls? Listen, I don't want to point fingers, but I've actually called the police, and they're on their way to find you. I really hope they can locate you quickly and bring my child back to me. If anything happens to Adrian, I won't be able to forgive you.
Alice, I can't believe that you would actually call the police on your own mother. Why do you despise me so much? I haven't even done anything to harm you. All my life I've been striving to be a good mother for you, and this is how you repay me?
Are you kidding me? You were never a good mother to me, and you never even made an effort to become one. All you did was bring misery into my life, and I've had more than enough of it.
So that's the reason you called the police to apprehend me? Just because I had a bit of alcohol on my breath while I was driving? That's totally insane and unfair to me.
I couldn't care less if you were driving under the influence or not. All I cared about was that you took my son in the car without asking for my permission. I was beyond worried for him. It was driving me crazy. I even thought I might lose him for a moment. Do you even understand how terrifying that thought was? Well, I guess you wouldn't know, because you never cared about me as much as I care about my son. In fact, it wouldn't faze you at all if I were to die tomorrow.
Oh, that. Well, to be honest, I don't really remember what happened that day. I feel like it was such a long time ago, you know?
It was only a month ago.
Really? Well, in that case, let me try to rejog my memory. I remember that there was a family party that day, and there's where I got to see my beautiful grandson. Then I was driving in a car to get some fresh air, and the next thing I knew, I was laying on the floor and got arrested by the police. I didn't do anything wrong.
You and I both know that's not the whole story. I don't know what got into you, but in a split moment when I wasn't paying attention, you snuck in and took Adrian with you. Tell me, why did you do that? Were you trying to get revenge on me or something?
I swear I don't remember a thing.
What's even worse is that you drove him to your favorite nightclub. You should consider yourself lucky that my son didn't get hurt, or else there would be serious consequences.
Oh, yeah. Now it's coming back to me. I do remember there being a child in my car, but I thought it was my own child. You know, my adopted son. We're always so inseparable. I can't go anywhere without him.
How many times do I need to repeat myself? Your adopted son is no longer with you. You already lost custody of him. Do you remember? You were reported to the police for trying to make him drink alcohol.
I lost him? When did that happen?
You're just absolutely unbearable. Beatrice, you seriously need to get your act together, or else you're going to end up all alone for the rest of your life.
Hey now, don't be so tough on your mother like that. It actually does make sense, don't you think? I was just so devastated about losing my own son that I mistakenly thought your son was mine and brought him along with me. You see, I never intended to take your son away from you at all. Just talk to my husband, he'll help explain everything.
Your husband? Remember, you two already got divorced.
Divorce? What are you talking about? We were never divorced. As far as I remember, we're still a happily married couple. You must be lying to me, right? You're just saying this because you're jealous of our relationship.
Great. Now you don't even remember that you and your husband got divorced. Look, do you recall the day you were released from jail? You two had a huge fight. Your husband was furious after discovering everything you had been hiding from him, including the fact that you were once in prison for embezzlement, a pathological liar, and an alcoholic.
Wait, what? How did he find out about that? Did you rat me out, you ungrateful little brat? Are you trying to steal my husband away from me? Huh? I should have known.
I have nothing to do with it. If you want to know the details, go ahead and ask him. It seems that with all the warning signs you were displaying, he became suspicious and hired a private detective to uncover your true identity. And of course, he found out that you're a deceitful person with a flawed character. He discovered that you had been lying to him about your job, right? Every day you would dress up and carry your bag as if you were going to work, but you weren't. You were probably getting wasted somewhere before coming home. And not only that, you would also lie to him about going out with friends on Saturday nights when you were actually going to nightclubs instead.
I can't remember anything. Please stop making all these accusations. You have no idea what you're talking about.
And on top of everything, you've been stealing from your own husband. You would take his parents' precious belongings, pawn them at different shops, and use the money to make it seem like you're earning an income. Everything I've just told you is the absolute truth. And deep down, you know it. Quit acting foolish and playing the victim. Just admit it. Admit to every wrongdoing instead of pretending like you don't remember anything.
All right, I admit it. Maybe I made some mistakes and don't deserve to be abandoned by my husband. It just doesn't feel fair to me.
Oh, it's not just your ex-husband leaving you. I'm also doing the same thing. In fact, I'm cutting all ties with you. I don't have to have anything to do with you, and the same goes for my son and my husband.
What? You're also abandoning me? I'm your mother. Please don't do this to me. I truly don't deserve this. Please give me a second chance. I'm confident I could do better. I know I could be a better mom for you and a loving grandmother for your son.
No, it's already too late. You've been given countless chances, but you wasted every single one of them. Now, I don't want you in my life anymore. I've had enough of your nonsense. I'll be blocking your number too, so don't bother wasting your time texting or calling me. Oh, and let's not forget that you still owe your husband a significant amount of money as compensation, so you'll have to figure that out on your own.
No, honey, please don't leave me alone. I'm really scared and I have nobody else. I'm terrified of being all by myself. Please, Alice, help me. Your mother needs you.
After that last conversation, I made the decision to block my mom's phone number and completely cut ties with her. I later heard that despite her pleading on her hands and knees, she was ruthlessly kicked out of her ex-husband's house. It seemed like her husband was completely shocked after discovering the truth about her. I genuinely felt bad for him because he was a genuinely nice guy and seemed to care a lot for my mother. However, he knew that if he continued to let Beatrice stay in his house, he would never change. It would only enable her to sink deeper into her troublesome habits of lying and drinking. Despite demanding a significant amount of money from Beatrice, her ex-husband still offered her a way out. He helped her to secure a job as a fishmonger in his company. To my surprise, Beatrice actually agreed to take on the job. Now she is carefully supervised by her ex-husband and appears to be very focused on her work. If she continues to do well, she might be able to repay all the money she owes him in approximately 3 years. At least she's not as intoxicated as she used to be, and that's a positive sign. Although she seems to be doing relatively well on her own, I'm not ready to welcome her back into my life just yet. In fact, I still have nightmares thinking about the terrible things that could have happened to my son that day. I genuinely hope that she can turn her life around and become a better person.